Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm JASLYN. Jaina JASLYN, that is. And for today's very special episode, I'm going to actually sober up for a moment. Sober in thought, heart, and emotion, and mind as well. Because I am going to share you the brutally honest, raw, vulnerable, broken, humbling story that I've been referencing quite a bit, but I haven't recorded it because I was waiting for the right time. And I know I've recorded a bunch today, but this is worth it. My alcohol addiction journey. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to share details that were sacred and private to me. Details that became available to the world once I came out to everyone on Facebook around the same time I came out about me being Jaina JASLYN. It is a hard story to tell because in it I paint a picture of a very less than ideal Jaina, or Jason at the time, but I will refer to myself as Jaina. I basically went to hell and back, and I lived to tell the tale. That's what my addiction felt like. But before I begin, I haven't done this and I need to do this. I have to show you what I'm wearing every day. Really quick though. I'm not taking up your time. This was an outfit I literally threw on just to have something on my body this morning, and now I'm like, holy crap, this is one of my new favorite outfits. Okay, you can't really see this skirt. I could stand on my computer chair. That sounds like a perfectly safe option. There I am. Skirt, probably a little bit too high, that's okay. And this is actually what we found at church in the Lost and Found. A great bargain bin that one is. Oh, I don't really say do that if you're really going to use it, like I am using this, because like, what are the chances someone's going to go back for something pretty like, a sweater to keep warm during church service, It was obviously a very warm day, and they put it aside for me to find. Okay, wow, that took longer, but I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, back to this story. I'll start from the beginning. My mom and dad loved each other. Just kidding. The beginning was when I was 21. First of all, up until then, my exposure to alcohol has been my mom or dad offering me a sip of whatever they're drinking at. Like, usually they didn't drink, my mom she had occasional glass of wine, but like they didn't really drink. So when we went out to like a brewery or a winery, they let me have a sip, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then when it kind of became fun, I was probably 17 years old, and I was a bicyclist at the time, and I would go like 20 miles a day. I was like, hey, let's drive downtown, all the way downtown and back. Downtown's 35 minutes away, miles away, I mean. But I'm like, let's do it. And this is a trip I've done so many times. And a total like 50-mile cycling day, and I go pretty fast, like 14 to 20 miles an hour. Depends on like the terrain. Anyway, 20 miles. Why does that sound too fast? I had one of those things on my bike at college. Anyway, this is not the story. This story. I had an accident when I was like 5 miles into it, and I banged myself up pretty bad. So my mom was on her way somewhere anyway in the area, so she picked me up, and she gave me a Vicodin because she had a prescription. She's like, here, take this for the pain. And I took the Vicodin. And then she's like, want to join me? You want me to drop you at home or join us to brunch? So I'm like, brunch it is. So I went with, like, I called her my aunt, but she wasn't really my technical aunt. But anyway, my aunt and my mom to a cafe, a brunch cafe. And they had, of course, like white Zinfandel, sparkling white, sweet white wines. And they would like let me have some. I probably had like a glass, certainly no more than a glass. But what my mom failed to realize was that she had given me the Vicodin. And when you mix a benzo or opiate with alcohol, it is bad. Fortunately for my case, I didn't get sick or anything, but I felt amazing. The conversation, the environment, everything was so perfect. I found meaning of life because that combination really hit me. Fast forward. I didn't really drink much after that. But at the age of 21, that's when stuff starts to get real. I think logically, cerebrally, scientifically. I say to myself, I heard a lot about getting drunk. I wonder what it's like. Let's try. So I do. I bought flavored Smirnoff watermelon. I will never forget that taste. And I down half of a 750 milliliter bottle. I didn't feel it at first. I just felt, oh, wow, I feel good. Yeah, wow. And then I entered like the happy. This is amazing. Oh, I love life. That place. And I took my sister and my two friends, like, we are going to the movies now. I will pay. I grabbed my money because I lived with my parents at the time, so I had a lot of money just to blow. So we go, and I throw $100 bill at my friend. I'm like, here's for the tickets. He's like, whoa, we don't need even half of this. I'm like, keep the change. Like, I was a motherfucker. Well, for a little while. We got in the movie starts playing. All I remember is like this ginormous urge to go to the restroom. And I did. I didn't know what I was going to do when I got there, but I went over to the stall and it became pretty obvious what I had to do. The beautiful part about this is that the movie we saw was called Good Luck Chuck. And certainly did Chuck. I don't remember anything. I remember returning to the seat and having to go back over and over and over. And I felt bad. I kept apologizing to random people, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like this. And then, yeah. One detail I wasn't going to mention, how I got there, I felt normal. I felt perfectly good. I drove there, and that was a big no-no. I would later get a DUI and learn my lesson, so don't worry. I learned my lesson, but I didn't know drinking and driving was a bad thing. They did it in the movies all the time. The characters would be at a bar and then chasing a criminal. How was I supposed to know? I was very naive in so many areas. So I told myself, I'm never going to drink that filth again. And if only I had followed my own advice. Fast forward more. I went into this really deep depressive episode right after my parents moved here in California to Hawaii. And they moved on a hope and a prayer and a dream, and everything worked out for them in the end. They've been over there over a decade. They're living the dream life. They probably wouldn't say so. I'm saying they're living a good life, and they're so Hawaiian spirited now. It's awesome. But that was not good on me when they left. But I was complacent. I was dull. I was numb. Keyword foreshadowing. Remember that. I was numb. I partied myself out. I went into depression and partied myself out. But I'd always been the sober partier, the DD. Everyone loved me. I would say I was getting drunk off of loose leaf tea because I would go to parties bringing my loose leaf tea collection, and I would be educating people on tea and catechins and polyphenols and antioxidants. I was such a nerd, and everyone's high or drunk, and I'm just they're oh my god, you have blew my mind about tea. I didn't know. Yes, I love tea so much. I just don't drink it ever, and I need to. In fact, my glass is over there. But I wasn't always like that. I fell into this depressive episode, and I was numb. I felt nothing. I felt like I shouldn't be a guy. dysphoria hit, but I didn't know what dysphoria was called. I thought that first of all, I thought everyone went through the dysphoria. Everyone did not like the aspects of their gender and their physical attributes. But I never knew it was gender dysphoria. I knew I didn't like how my hair was starting to thin. And I was like, I'll never have dream hair. Surprise, I have dream hair. I think so. It's messy, it's imperfect, but I think so. Yeah, that was like the anchor of my depression and anxiety and panic attacks, meltdowns. I thought it was because my hair was falling out. I thought I would be bald like all men in my family on both sides are. So that's a side note. That's a miracle in itself that I kept my hair, with a little bit of thanks to Propecia and dutasteride. Check out my hair video if you haven't. I talk a lot about that. I could actually say, look at this other video, because I actually have videos now. That's a good feeling. Pat on back. Okay. What got me out of that depressive episode was a few friends saying, hey, let's go out and get drinks. Like, you need to get out. They saw my suffering. You need to get out. And I'm like, I guess. And I went out and I had drinks and I had a great time. And that kept happening. I'd go out, drinks, great time. Go out, drinks, great time. Then I would go out and there'd be no drinks, but I'd still have a great time. And I just interspersed the drinking and non-drinking. But overall, because like the alcohol jump-started me, I was having a good time. And I didn't think of it at the time as self-medicating, but I was self-medicating. I started drinking at social situations, but for the first few years, it was like 1 or 2 drinks. And then after that was the time after I got married. So I got married, beautiful wife. All of my like agony had a distraction. I had a distraction to keep me occupied from all the things that was dreadful for, like growing old, wrinkles, hair. And marriage was great. But then I started realizing work is stressful. I got an actual job, and it was stressful. And I'd come home like, wow, I just feel so tense and uptight, but I have 6 hours left in the evening. I started realizing if I have a glass of wine, I feel good. Then that turned into like 1 to 2. And it stayed that way for a very, very long time. In alcoholism, sometimes it takes someone just 1 drink to become that raging alcoholic. And other times, people could be alcoholics, high functioning for like 10, 20 years before it becomes a huge thing. But it always will inevitably become a huge thing. So the years pass, and I actually don't have any specific memories from this time, except for when we got married. Someone bought us like 60 bottles of wine for the wedding. I was sober on my wedding. I only had 1 sip. Like, if I was like, I don't want this. I was sober at my wedding. I was sober when I proposed to Jen. I was sober when I met Jen. I was sober all those very special occasions. So, and at the wedding, there were like 60 bottles. Not many were consumed. So we had a lot left over. And that's when I started to be like, wow, all this access to like delicious wine, I could enjoy it more often. And I didn't see it as a problem. When I thought of like alcoholism and addicts, I painted this picture of someone who's like living on the street, right? As everyone does. And that's a very bad, harmful image to think of, because yes, many of those are alcoholics, but it didn't take long for them to get there. So I patted myself on the back for being a responsible drinker. And then the stress of life started really picking up. You see, I got this amazing dream job offer to work from home for a marketing company and a website development company. I became the CEO's right-hand man, yes, at the time, and all the responsibilities slowly accrued on my shoulders. But it was like boiling a frog. You didn't know it was coming. Just like my alcoholism, I didn't know it was coming until it was too late, that is. So The first 4 years, 3, 4 years of the job were amazing. It was my dream job. I, would look forward to working the next day every evening. But I hit a threshold. I saw and felt the warning signs, and I did not act on them. And the very few times I did speak up for myself while we were on like a conference call or a Skype call, I would get lectured like, you know, yes is the only reasonable answer. Don't, there's no excuses. Get this done. This is what you're paid to do. And he was type A personality, very, very overwhelming, amazing guy. And I still think of him as like family, even though we haven't talked for a very long time. But the stresses were getting so much, and I didn't tell him. So how was he supposed to know? Like, the ship got a few holes, and it was linking from the engine room. Problem is, engine room wasn't communicating to the bridge. So how are we supposed to know? And I still don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to send him a video, a long video, and I will explain everything, because he doesn't know what happened to the extent. So when the stress really built up and I didn't take action, I self-medicated a lot more. It was more common to see 3 and 4 drinks a day on my little like spreadsheet log, which I kept. I lied to myself in 2 areas. I created 2 like rules for drinking, and they're not all bad. Like if you were going to a party, it's a great rule. And one of the rules is wait 1 hour per drink. Like that's per serving. So I'm not one of those East or West Coast like IPAs, triple IPAs, not one of those. 1 serving. Like one of those could be easily be 4 servings. There's one of the beers I used to drink is called The Therapist by Dust Bowl Brewing, I believe. It's great beer, but it's 10.4%. And that's like 3 or 4 servings right there. Or more like 4 servings right in that can. So it's easy to not know how much it's building up. And I didn't know. I got into craft beer. I was buying like anywhere from 7 to 11% alcohol drinks. But they were so good, well brewed, that I didn't know how much I was consuming. And that did a huge toll on my tolerance. And I would build that tolerance over time more and more and more. And then I was like drinking 6 per day. I'm like, 6? It's not bad. I'm following my rule, which I've also added on, like drink a pint of water between each drink. I'd forget to do that most of the time, but I do think if you did stick with a pint per water per drink, like if you're assuming you're not drinking in a form of dependence, like a once in a while thing, like if you're going to be at a party and you want to get smashed, right, but you want to do so without creating a hangover, and add 1 pint of water per serving. But it does not apply to me anymore. It got really bad. I hadn't taken a vacation in years. 18 minutes. Okay, we're doing good on time. I don't have a time limit, but I wanted to keep this like under 30 minutes maybe. Okay, regaining my train of thought. It got really bad. I didn't have a vacation. My declining efforts were starting to show. And my boss like, oh, I get the idea now. You need a vacation, because I didn't ask for one. I did not advocate for myself. I did not speak up for myself. Oh, you need a vacation here. And he like did this Groupon thing for 2 nights, which we extended to 3, because like no vacation in like 5 years working so much. I'm gonna get an extra day. So 3 nights in Fort Bragg, where North Coast Brewery is. You see where this is going. So this was November 16th. I went to Fort Bragg, and that was the very first time I drank all day. And the lie I told myself was, it's vacation, it's okay, have fun, like, be relaxed, like, you need beer to relax, which was also another lie, so therefore have some all day, and I did, and I remember waking up and like, oh my god, the feeling of a shower beer at 8 a.m. is amazing. I mean, it is a good feeling. I could be honest with myself, it was a good feeling. But for like the 4 days we were there, 3.5 days we were there, I had a solid buzz going. I'm surprised I didn't get like blackout drunk. I'm glad I didn't get sick drunk. Actually, the water advice did help, but I had anywhere from 13 to 16, maybe more servings per day for those visits. So I said, this is going to stop when I get home. And I actually continued that for a few days. Then I backed off a bit somehow. Like that was during my, I'm going to get sober. I'll cut back little by little over time. Didn't work for me. But so I started. I cut all my drinking in half again, which sucked. Yes, even only cutting it in half gave me a withdrawal. What I'm about to tell you is shameful, but I take no shame. It was Thanksgiving of last year, so a week or two back in town. And every Thanksgiving we would go to my parent-in-law's house, my wife's parents. And not last year, but the year before, in 2017, at Thanksgiving, this was during my running career, and I just performed horribly in a 10K race. I was aiming for 37 or below in the 10K, which is like low 6-minute miles. I was aiming for like 6:05, 6:15 average pace, and I did a 5:45 first mile downhill, and I blew up, and I spent 5.2 miles of agony, and seeing all the slow runners pass me, and my day was ruined. It's like, shit. I go home, I try to relax, but that defeat I took personally. And then I had to go to this Thanksgiving party. One thing about my wife's family, they're very loud. They speak their mind, they speak it firmly. They fight, they make up like 3 minutes later. They're a great family. I love them. So we went there, and I had brought my laptop. And I had just discovered this get paid for writing gig, which is .writer, dotwriter.com. And I actually sold a lot of articles. So I was like writing articles on my laptop in my safety bubble, wearing noise canceling headphones by Bose, which are amazing, by the way. I highly recommend them. And people are like, and I was like, yes, I was drinking, but it wasn't, I actually didn't really have interest to drink. But this is an important story. I had a meltdown. It was when everyone was at the table. There was one table available in the middle of the table. And I was full on autism. Like, I was nonverbal, easily frustrated. Everything was stabbing me. I just felt so trapped. But sitting on the couch while everyone was eating with my noise-canceling headphones gave me peace, and I was writing away. And someone was like, Jason, they said Jason. I'll just say Jaina. Jaina, come eat with us. Come eat with us. I'm like, no, I'm okay. Come eat with us. No, I'm okay. And my wife didn't know what was going on, so she didn't speak up for me, which is, I didn't expect her to. But people kept bugging me, and eventually I snapped. Well, first of all, I joined them at the table, but, like, everything was, like, all the laughter, the clinking of silverware, the chewing, the scraping, all of it. I had a full-blown meltdown. I slam my fist on the table, step up so that the chair goes flying behind me. I go outside, slam the door behind me. I kick and then I punch a fire hydrant in front of their house. Then I realized what I had done, busted up my entire wrist, sprained my ankle, threw myself on the ground, and just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and screamed and sobbed. My wife comes outside, and with her is my father-in-law. And he gives me the most warm, comforting, teddy bear, fatherly hug. I needed that. And I was just crying, resting on his shoulder, holding him, like crying and crying. And he's like, and Jen knew what I was trying to say. Jen says, Jaina has autism. Because I had just figured that out not too long ago. in that time. Jaina has autism, and he would hug me. He's like, "It's okay, it's okay. I know people on the spectrum. I've seen them before. I understand. We'll get through this. You know, I don't know what to make of it, but we'll get through this." Like, it came out to him about my autism, and everyone was treating me really weird the rest of the night. Like what just happened? That's kind of concerning. So the next Thanksgiving, which is the one I'm after my race, I was just like almost fearful of. I was fearful of that happening again. So in the morning, of course, because it's a holiday, I would be drinking, and I would share some drinks with roommates, so just so I could feel good about me drinking because someone else is there. That's a very common alcoholic thing. And then it's time to go, and we're like, "Oh crap, we gotta pick up stuff at the store." Like I said, I'm gonna be honest in this video. We were at the store, and I start to get loopy, like manic, like full-blown mania. Um, I, I guess it was just like a self-defense mechanism. Like, if I'm manic, then um, maybe I won't feel concern for going, like, and fear. Perhaps if I'm manic, I won't be fearful of having a meltdown at the in-laws' house. So I pull an energy drink off the shelf, crack it open, I just start chugging it. An energy drink. And they're like, my roommate and my wife, who are with me, are like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, we'll pay for this anyway. Don't worry about it." And they're like, "Okay." So we continue our shopping. I'm really hyper and drunk out of it. And we finish shopping. And we go to the car. And they're like, "Oh crap, we forgot the bread." So I'm like, "Oh, I'll go." Because I was feeling positive. And I said that, at this point, I said that innocently. Like, "Oh, I'll go." And I get the bread. And then something took over. And this is the very first time I've ever experienced anything like this. Well, this is the first time. There have been more. I lost control. That mania released constraints. Like, it went full-blown mania where I kind of blacked out. It was like a distant echo. It's like seeing something from a microscope, like a telescope, but a hazy image. I walk over to the beer aisle and I grab a thing of beer, a tall can, like 24 ounces. I put the bread down. I put it in my coat. I go into the bathroom. I go into a stall. I crack it open. I chug it. I chug it. I'm like, "Ooh," I chug it. Like, almost threw up a little bit there, but I jug it, toss it in the trash, go back outside, get the bread, go back to the car. I get in the car, and the roommate says, "Wait, you never paid for that energy drink." I'm like, I was still out of control. And by the way, I was behind the wheel. Like, "Oh yeah, I stole the energy drink. I stole a beer and chugged it too." And they're like, "What? What the fuck?" And then this is like, I already started driving. I'm driving. I'm like, "You chugged it?" I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay." We pull into the neighborhood, and I kind of like sideswipe the plastic bumper of a truck a little bit, and they flip the fuck out. They're like, like, "Stop, stop, get out!" But I'm like, "We're here," and I pull in the driveway, and Jen's like, "Room now." So I go to the room. She's like, "You are not drinking anything more tonight. Like, you're fucked up. What's going on with you? We have to go to my parents' house." And I'm like, "Okay." Fast forward, they drive, obviously. Oh my god. And that unforgivable what I did. But I am confessing it to the world, yes. I drove drunk and I hit a car. The next day I looked at the damages and there were no observable damages on either of our cars, thanks to that plastic bumper. But I learned a very valuable lesson. This is all leading up to, like, the crisis, so I hope you're enjoying this so far. Intermission. Go get your popcorn. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get yourself some treats. And we're back. Okay. When we got to her parents' house, Matt, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, it's like, "Hey, want some?" Because he always has like whiskey or something, bourbon with him. and he always offers me some, and we always share together. I share my craft beers, but he didn't realize that I was already drunk, that I was not supposed to be drinking any more that evening, and certainly that I had robbed a store. Which, by the way, I eventually paid them back for that. Um, so not that it made it any better. It did not justify it at all. I just wanted to pay back and then some to charity, as well, because they have a charity. So that's what I did. I did a $20 charity for $5 of beer and energy drink. Like I said, it does not make it better. I needed to do something. Okay. So I took the whiskey out of Matt's hand, and I chug a bit. He's like, "Whoa, whoa there, buddy! Wow!" And then no one saw that. And then I start to do I'm not gonna go through that whole night, but basically I made a fucking fool of myself. I blacked out. They had to force feed me. We were eating the Beyond Burgers. Oh, so good. But they were force feeding me, and apparently all I was doing is with the burger, just like that, just having an orgasmic adventure with that burger while totally blackout drunk. And I managed to fall on my face somehow too. I don't know. Anyway, I was a mess, and I made a fool of myself. Fortunately, not fortunate for me, I got lucky because there was some other drama going on that was conflicting. There's 3 different pieces of drama. I was only one of them. So it's not like they were talking about it for days to come. I was just being my stupid self. And then since then, it got worse and worse. When I visited my parents in February, I had warned my mom, "Hey mom, I like to, drink as a coping mechanism, as a self-medication to anxiety, but don't worry, I keep it under control." And my mom's like, "Oh, okay." She didn't realize keeping it under control with my tolerance is quite a bit of alcohol. I could down a lot of alcohol and not get drunk. So we got to my parents' house, and I bought a bunch of cocktail mixes and whatnot, and I would have that throughout the day. And I thought they were cool about it, but I still kept it hidden, have it throughout the day. Halfway through my visit, I was there for 2 weeks, so about a weekend, they sit me down and they bring in a trash bag. And I knew exactly what they were about to pull out from it. One by one, the empty liquor bottles. My mom my mom is always happy-go-lucky, cheerful, silly, whimsical, like me. Very much so. And she was serious. It's when you told me, you had drinks throughout the day, I was thinking a beer at lunchtime and a beer mid-afternoon or something. I didn't realize you were doing shots and shots and shots. I'm exposed. So they're why don't you just stop your drinking for the rest of the trip? And that terrified me. I could never not drink. That's what I thought. I thought I wouldn't be able to function. So I got really depressed for a few days. And then they're then they didn't have any issue for me going out to for a beer or two, but keep it at that at a craft brewery or something. So I still drank. But I was you know what? I created positive momentum. I'm only having 2 drinks a day, which is great if I'm coming down from 10 a day. But I didn't. I didn't use that positive momentum. When I got home from that trip, I went straight back to my hidden stash of whiskey. $4.50 whiskey, big bottle. Yeah, that's dangerous. So I had a stash and they're hidden. Skip ahead, until June. That's when my dad came into town. I was drinking a lot at that time. I had officially entered into. By the way, I was totally going MIA, ditching my 2 clients, and they're like, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" But I had developed such a painful aversion to those 2 clients because they caused stress. So I am lucky that they kept me. They had patience with me. Both of them did, and I still have them as clients, happy clients right now. But I was ditching work, ditching life responsibilities, burnt through all savings, debt piled up. until everything was maxed and I was like living on fate, luck. It's a miracle I've been able to even keep the house I'm in. So it came to this moment. My dad was in town. He knew I was going through health issues. He knew I was going through health issues. And those issues were dry, peeling skin all over my face, red splotches upper body, bruises everywhere, over 30 dark brown, blue, red bruises everywhere. Legs, all up and down my legs. I started throwing up at random without warning throughout the day. I would get this weird gagging reflex, like as if someone was sticking something down my throat. I would throw up. I'd have to find the nearest restroom. And there were a few times I threw up in public and made a fool of myself. And I thought, oh, it's my vitamin levels. So I got my vitamins tested, which led me astray because there were 2 vitamins that were amiss. And those were vitamin D, I was tragically low, and vitamin B, I was tragically high. And doctor said, wow, these B levels are off the charts. People have actually died at this range. That was the first time I heard that phrase, but not the last. I was foolish and I kept blaming my symptoms on vitamins. I kept self-medicating with alcohol. So on one day in particular, and this was after I started drinking in the morning, and this was after I started drinking at night. In the night, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and I would just have the shakes, the sweats, the anxiety, panic attack. And I would go into my office, pour 1 or 2 shots, go happily back to bed, wake up a few hours later, do it again, do it again, do it again. That way, there was never any alcohol in my system. Yeah, so I was hiding this from everyone, including my wife. They knew I drank, they knew I drank too much. They didn't know I drank like 16 shots or more a day. One day, like, was 24. I had blacked out. That was another symptom I was having. I'd just have blackouts where I'd pass out, black out. Sometimes I would talk, move around, do not remember it. I would go days at a time where I would check in and work because I like to think that I was still working, and I would like check in with work and be like, oh shit, all this stuff, no shit, it's due, wait, and then blacking out, like losing control, like no, like I could see myself standing far away, running, no, don't do this. But that's how bad it was. Days, weeks would go by. A week went by once where I don't have any memory except here and there. I was living in hell. So one day when my dad was in town, he and Jen were like, you know, you do work. Unfortunately, I had to work when my dad was in town. You do your work. We'll be back later. We're going to go shopping and do errands. I'm like, cool. I don't remember what happened when I was gone. I don't. I don't even remember drinking. I went from like, okay, have a good day, you know, still with a lot of drinks in my system, but I was still like functioning and I still remember. But I don't remember after that. I don't remember them coming home. I don't remember them opening the closet. I don't remember them finding me there passed out, not really breathing that much, not waking up. They're like shaking me, slapping me. I'm breathing but not waking up. I don't remember that. I don't remember getting into the car. I don't remember them like bringing my supplies, stuff, you know, packing my bags. I don't remember them driving me to the ER. I don't remember. Wait, but now I do remember. See, I woke up in the passenger seat. I looked at the ER, and in that moment, I realized I sobered up. And believe me when I say I sobered up. I was still tipsy, but I was like sober of mind. And I was like, oh shit. oh, because I knew that I would not be able to drink in the hospital. And I knew that they would probably want me to drink less. And I was starting to work on my apology speech because I wanted to get back to drinking as fast as possible. Sometimes I mask fear and panic with humor. I became very funny and cracked a lot of good jokes. Jokes they admit were actually funny. They took all my blood. They found out that my blood alcohol content was 0.41. The legal limit, as you might know, at least in California, is 0.08. That's not 8%. I think that's like 0.08%, something like that. I was just so royally fucked up. My liver enzymes were elevated. I'm gonna try to pull that in here. Can I pull it up? Okay, I see. It's not. I'm still learning the software. I really like it. It's under my old name folder because this is the result of old name. Okay, I have it here. Yes! Awesome sauce, people. Oh my god, this is awesome. Okay, so what you're looking at here. I'll actually zoom it out a bit. Pardon. Let's not fuss around with that too much. So this was actually taken 2 weeks before. So this is not even like capturing the information liver levels of when I was like doing drinking thing all day long. You'll see my score was 152 on the alkaline phosphatase. Alkaline phosphatase. Oh my gosh, it's my mom. I'm gonna record this really quick. I mean, show her. I mean. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I'm actually recording an epic story right now. I'm recording. Well, I'm opening up to the world and recounting my addiction journey and recovery.
Yeah,
Do you want to say hi? I could flip you to the webcam. Yes, I promise I will fix the quality. I'm sorry it's abysmal. I will not use it with you anymore.
that webcam thing, that was
Yeah, it is. Oh, well, hey, say hi to everyone. Not that anyone's gonna watch this.
okay. I do that.
I was putting you at the microphone. Oh, I show you. I show you from this angle so you do not be seen. There we go. See?
Oh yeah.
So I'm telling the story, and I'm actually to the point where Daddy Bird saved me. You know? Daddy Bird and Jenny Bird.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Am I on?
You're not on, but you can be.
No, it's okay.
Okay. I love my mom. Do you want me to call you back? I'll be done in very soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, honey.
Talk to you soon.
You want me to say hi? I can just say hi.
You want to? Because I would be honored. I would be honored. Okay, let me see if this works. Yay, my mommy bird. There it is. Okay, they can see you.
Hi. Aloha.
Oh, wait, let me put it. There we go. Here, say that again. Aloha.
Hello. Aloha. Choppers. Yeah, baby.
Yes.
You don't show up first. Other people do.
This is the best mother in the world. Right here.
Ah,
The best mother in the world.
I have the best kids in the world. So
Yay.
I love. And that is what it's all about. It's loving.
Yes. Yes. See where I get it from?
You must love.
Cultivate love are the words you
Cultivate
said.
love. Yeah, that's my thing, you know.
I that hit me in ways that you could not believe. Yeah, that hit me.
Wow.
Cultivate love. It's just,
Not to do that.
it's obvious when you think about it, Like, if something does not contain love, if you're doing something without love, then rethink your process.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yay!
agree. And I have, can I share this?
You could share whatever, only what you're comfortable with.
Okay, so I have a picture. I'm going to put this on. Let me see if I can. Can you see that?
I see that indeed. That's not a little paper sculpture, is it?
No, it's the ocean, and I painted, my ocean scene,
Uh-huh.
and then I made this part here not knowing.
I'm sorry, Mom. I thought you were showing me because I was looking on the webcam output, not the actual. I thought you were showing me a big spider that was in your room. Oops.
Right here?
Yeah,
Yes.
that it with those little legs, yeah.
Well, that is the 6 of us.
Oh my goodness.
6.
What does it say?
Yeah. The powerhouse. Okay, cast your net.
Cast your net.
Yeah, remember you'll come to Pastor Stephen's video about casting the net.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this is us casting the net for all the people that we are going to cultivate love till.
So true. Yes.
All of them, and then they just overflow over here. I know.
That is really cool, Mom.
And I made it, and I didn't even know what it meant until later.
If you take a picture and text me, I will put it in the description of the video so people can see it. Because my mom is a master crafter.
Yes, it is a passion. I can't resist.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back really soon.
Okay.
After I finish my story.
Aloha to everyone.
Wait. Oh no, you have to say that again. Sorry. There.
Aloha.
There we go. She said aloha. Okay. I love you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye. That was my amazing mom. I really hope you saw her and heard her. Because she's gone through so much struggle. Like, she has gone through the torment of just mental differences and agony and not having medication. Then she got medication and she transformed. Like, so amazing. And that's kind of funny because I've been through, as I'm telling you, this transformative journey as well. Like, just like my mom, I'm following in her footsteps. It makes me feel so good. All right, you have a life to get back to, right? So I showed you the numbers. I really wanted to show you this one. AST and ALT, I'm not sure what liver function they have, but you could see 356 is a little bit higher than 40. 126 is a little bit higher than 46. I was so above even the high end of the healthy range that the doctors just looked at me and, how are you alive right now? How are you living right now? Like, do you need help? Like, no, yes I do. I'm getting it already. And then go back off the deep end. So in that ER, I'm wrapping this up. In that ER, sorry, I'm wrapping this up and thank you for tolerating that little thing with my mom. I'm going to figure out how to record and resume so it maintains one file just because I can't be arsed right now to like merge two files. But you know what, I should pull up my girl panties and do it. Okay. The doctors had said on multiple occasions you should be dead right now. There was a miracle that took place. Well, there's two. The first miracle was that I actually have the life I know and love right now because of the miracle. One. Miracle two was just simply the fact that I lost all craving for alcohol on that hospital bed as I realized I'm killing myself, thus I'm killing Jaina. If I continue living in this way, I will kill myself. If not, I will make my life and others miserable. If I continue in this lifestyle, I could say farewell to even transitioning. I'm doing this for myself, first and foremost, then others, then Jaina. It clicked and became obvious as day, clear as day, that I was transformed. A lot of people say that. Fresh into sobriety, they say, I've transformed. But it's what it is the honeymoon phase speaking. Like, you feel really good and ecstatic. Like, wow, I'm doing this. This is awesome. There's like euphoria and glee. But I knew in my heart, I am transformed. I knew that people say that and go off the deep end again and maybe kill themselves. I knew that. But I couldn't not believe that. I couldn't say there's a possibility for relapse. Even though it's true statistically, I could not say that. I'm like, hell no, I'm not even giving myself wiggle room by saying I could fail. I'm not. I am never touching an ounce of alcohol again. Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweens, or none of the aboves, I have not had one craving since. I've been beer making, no craving. Out to so many pubs. Like, I do my work at a craft beer pub, always ordering the San Pellegrino soda, or at the other bar, a Jones soda. I've not had one craving. Like, even if I was trying to fake it till I make it, I wouldn't be able to get this far that successfully. I was told in this book called This Naked Mind by, I think her last name is Grace. She said that like Alcoholics Anonymous only boasts a 3 to 5% lifetime sobriety rate. 1 out of every 15 people in the room or so will succeed long term. That saddens me. I didn't like that. I said, I'm not going to become that statistic. And I went to a certain type of AA meeting, but I didn't go to AA itself. I went to a church-based called Celebrate Recovery. I enjoy them because I don't mind the church environment. I grew up in church. But I can't tell you how I did it, except that I vowed to myself and to others and to Jaina that I would do this. Not only would I be sober, I would get my ass into gear. I would go on morning walks, morning runs. I would eat a pound or 2 of fruit every morning. I would have salad. I would binge drink grog, which is basically aloe vera water, coconut water, squeeze fresh lemon and lime, and then, of course, regular water, half and half. I do half and half. Half regular water, half other stuff. And then it's grog, and I drink it throughout the entire day, and it's so delicious, I keep chugging it. And that's hydrating my skin. So all of those health issues that I mentioned earlier, they all disappeared in 3 days. And I put that, I already deleted that screenshot, but what it didn't show, what I didn't point out in that was that in only 3 weeks, from consuming 16 to 20 plus per day, and my liver enzymes almost being 10 times the high end of healthy, in 3 weeks, you cannot get closer to center than what I got. Okay, I think it was like 1 point away from center, but it was pretty much center on both AST, ALT, totally transformed. I don't know why, if it's just the sobriety itself, or like turmeric. I binge ate turmeric. I would pour turmeric, capsaicin, which is spicy powder, cayenne pepper, lemon, all, and I'd chug it. Kind of like that detox diet, which stimulates your body for healing. And then I would like drink tea and my grog, and all the salads, all the fruit, all the polyphenols and antioxidants. It restored my system like perfect, almost perfect health in only 3 weeks. I'm lucky. Right? So I mentioned another miracle, and I'm getting better at returning to my tangents, by the way. Returning from my tangents. The other miracle was this. Like, that my dad was in town exactly when he was. He didn't know he was walking into an alcoholic situation, a hardcore, severe, crippling alcoholic situation. He didn't know. He just came to support me because of my failing health. He didn't realize he'd walk in the closet with his son, his precious son, on not responding on the floor. Little did he know that during his stay, I would just transform everything. Little did he know that a couple days before he left, I would come out to him as being his daughter, which he listened to and he responded to, and it was amazing. I learned how amazing my dad is. Of course he's amazing. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I renewed my mind. I held on to those 7 core virtues that I talk about in a previous episode. I need to remember them like really sharply, but it's love, hope, peace, joy, gratitude, wisdom. I think patience should be one if it's not. And faith. So those 7, that's the 7 core virtues that I, from day one, just somehow naturally gravitated towards, and because I knew they would be the ingredients of my transformation, both in gender and in life. From going to an extremely ADHD-ridden, not getting any work done, pushing everything aside, numbing yourself out with alcohol, from that to where I'm at right now. Miracles can happen. They're not like necessarily supernatural in a spooky sense. Miracles can happen every day, and you have to look out for them. I call them pennies. I love picking up pennies from the ground, and I put them in a jar, and these are my like gratitude pennies, because every time I find a penny, I would kind of like pretend I'm kissing it, and I would like look up to the sky and be like, thank you. Whoever is listening right now, thank you. Thank you. And then I will find things to be thankful for. Like, thank you for this penny. Thank you for my life. Thank you for sparing me. Just thank you. Universe, life force, cosmic energies, God, deity of your choice, flying spaghetti monster, anything. Thank you. Obviously, I say thank you to whoever's listening, or thank you, but in my heart, I know who's listening. But that's just my thing. I'm not gonna like preach or anything. Gratitude. And that helped me get into positive thinking. And that way, when I have a bad day, it doesn't start a string of like 5 bad days. It ends after 1 or 2 days. Usually 2 to 3, actually. Awesome. Well, it wasn't under 30 minutes, but it's going to be under an hour. A fitting time to end this journey. Now you'll know when I speak of my transformation season or crises or health scare or addiction, you'll know now what I'm talking about. This is very, I'm surprised I didn't tear up, because this is very personal to me, and it sucks to listen myself speak about, but it's my story. Holy crap, I have a new chapter to my story. Like, if I could go back and if I could press the button, go back and like undo my drinking, would I? That is so hard, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna accept things for how they are right now, because I know in this moment I am whole, and I have that tale to tell. I have this journey to share with people, and hopefully at least one person critically assesses their drinking, critically exposes the lies that you tell yourself. But hey, life is great. Like, I'm blessed to be here. The fact that I'm recording this is a miracle. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I am embarking on this crazy journey. Like, wild journey. Like, in 50, 100 episodes, I might not even look the same. That's... wow. It's just so cool. Being transgender is so cool. I like it. I have trans pride for sure. You can't really see the color that well. That says Jaina. My mom made these bracelets, and I'm going to show a better quality version soon. But I do want to say goodbye, and thank you. Wait, this is a hug to you. I'm hugging you right now. Wait, there we go. Everything's backwards, Jaina. Come on, Jaina. No, do not squish your head. This is a hug. That was a hug. That was a very awkward hug. Awkward. I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy VII, Fallout Shelter, make some butternut squash soup from scratch, because I cook a lot. And I'm going to say bye-bye. Oh my gosh, you are awesome. If you watch this, you are awesome. Wow. Okay. This is Jaina JASLYN. Bye-bye.